Okay, welcome people. Welcome to the beginning of your journey. And so many people were asking for this, and I'm glad we're finally here. I'm glad myself because at this point, I've done everything. I've done all the videos. This is the last thing I'm doing, man. And it took me a while. It took me so long. I don't know why. Like AI historians, stellar sagas, I haven't been uploading. It's been a month. People are asking, where's the uploads? But everything's finally done, man, and I'm just here to give you guys a little bit about what to expect from all of this, and it's going to be good, man. It's going to be wonderful, and what you guys are going to see is how we think. You know how I think. You get to pick my brain. You get to learn from my mistakes, and this is quite early, right? This space is so new. It's so exciting. Even though I stopped uploading, that I'm gonna get back into it now that it's all done. And you guys get to learn from my mistakes. You guys get to amplify and accelerate your growth, and you guys get to learn something new. It's so exciting. And if there's anything you don't like, if there's something I missed, if you're like, oh, show me this analytics, can you show me how you did this, can you show me how you did this, I will do this in the Discord. That's it, for nothing else. I'll just do it in the Discord. Email me at any of my emails and I'll just put it in the Discord. And this is not no ordinary Discord. We didn't do sponsorships after 250 million views. There's gonna be no ads in this Discord. There's gonna be no spam, no sponsorships, no stupid newsletters, nothing. Only education and only work related Discord, right? And this is a few hours. All of these videos are a few hours, but honestly, I could have been here for 3 days talking about all of this, but I tried putting into 2 hours because what's important is you start working. If you want to see a process, if you want to see the behind the scenes, if you want us to do a whole video, we can put this in the Discord. I'll put many stuff, right? Even when new stuff comes, new prompts come, I'll put this in the Discord. But these next few hours is going to be very crucial, very key. You're going to learn a lot of things, and you're going to be able to pick my brain. My brain is not that big of a deal, but at least I have some experience. I've been doing this for 6 months, and that's why I say it. But anyways, yeah, man. And there is a special guest in all of this, because the guy is a prompt magician, man. He's literally gonna show you how to go from like a stone statue, right? A stone statue to an 8K realistic version, a picture of that same person. So in the prompting part, you are going to see a special guest. But for most of it, it is me, and I just want you guys to start now. And I'm glad I finished all of this, and I'm glad you finally get to see. And you guys have been asking, man. So many thousands of people have been asking, so it's finally here. And I hope you guys enjoy. You have fun, and good luck. Okay, that's mid-journey done. You know how to prompt. You've got your pictures, and I'll be honest. Some days this will take time. Some days it'll take you the whole day just to do one video. And some days you might just run through it and get like 4 done. But that is fine. If I was starting out, I would stick to one prompt. The same prompt we use. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. That's fine. Get your pictures done. And now, the rest of this process is like this. So you start with Pigs Emotion. You go to the app, you select new, you go to album, you select your pictures, and now there's 2 things. Number 1, geometry. So what this does is wherever you click on the photo, there's going to be motion in that direction. Joanne of Arc, there was 3 flames, and I wanted a straight line. So all I did was click, 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 click in a straight line. That is it. But I don't want the rest of the picture to be affected, right? I just want those 3 flames. So I used the pin tool, and I pin whatever I don't want to be affected. What this pin tool does is it creates boundaries. It creates walls. So whatever is inside these walls will not be affected. And this should take you seconds. But with all of this, right? Like with the pictures, people say, oh, this art is so good. It looks so realistic. It is so beautiful. How do I do this? But what Pigs Emotion does, it makes the viewer feel like you've put in so much effort, It has this like holy effect. And it's true. Like it is so spectacular. It looks so good. But with Pigs Emotion, we're not done yet, because there is some things I've learned, and I'm gonna tell you now. Number 1, there's a speed tab. This one's easy. A speed tab. You want your picture, you want your motion to be faster, slide it all the way to the right. You want it to be slower, slide it all the way to the left. Easy. Number 2, instead of geometry, you can actually use motion. And motion, you can just slide it. You don't have to click, click, click. You just slide it. And this is faster, but it's not as accurate as geometry. That's 2. Just play with just play with it. See whichever one you like, use that one. Number 3, mask and unmask I wouldn't touch. Like some of us, we have such small phones. It's just such a tedious and it's so annoying. Mask and unmask I would not touch. Just stick to pinning. Whatever you want to mask, just pin it. That is it. And finally, this is the most important one. Never make straight lines. Like right now on the screen, I'm going to show you my most complex one. It was supposed to be like the Hindenburg crash, not the Hindenburg burnt, but it was supposed to be another airship crashing into the Atlantic Ocean. And look what it's being done. There is no straight lines. They're just curved lines, and it just looks so dynamic and so beautiful. And even, for example, I had a volcano, smoke going up. I would never make straight lines. Curve it. It gives such a beautiful dynamic effect. So always make curved lines. And that is Pixamotion done. Well, almost. The concept is done, and that is all there is to Pixamotion. But now I want you to see some real world examples, because this same tactic, what we did with flame, smoke, water, air, this can apply to humans, and it actually looks really good. You could apply this to a busy town. You could apply this to a battle happening, people charging into battle. You could apply this to horses. You could apply this to anything, and it actually looks really, really, really good. Okay, you're done with Pixamotion, and now you have content that no one on YouTube has. Like some people on YouTube, they know about Pixamotion, but they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to implement it in their videos. So now you have content that is the best on YouTube, and no one's doing this. So let's get into audio. For audio, we are going to use 11 Labs, as I told you before. And I'm on Google right now. I'm going to press 11 Labs. And what this brings you into is the speech synthesis. This is where you're going to be doing most of your work. So at the top here is the narrator. And for us, for history videos, we use Adam. He has a deep voice, as it says here. He has a deep voice, and he commands your attention, honestly. Like if it's informative, Adam commands your information. Anthony, well-rounded. If you want to tell a nice, beautiful story, use Anthony. That is it. These two. Now, voice settings, I would stick to default. Start at default. Just start at default, right? But if it's annoying you, you're not getting the voice you want, go to 75. If you want your narrator to emphasize some stuff, go to 40, 50, and that should be fine. Exaggeration and boost, I wouldn't touch for now. You don't need it. And whatever you wanted to say, just type it in here, generate, it's done. So simple. And Voice Lab, here we can generate our own voices. And as you can see, we have a bunch. We have Batman, we have Gus, Jin, Goku, we have a bunch of people. But what you can do is, first, you can design your own voice. Male, female, young, middle-aged, old, American, British, Indian, accent, and it'll even give you a little template. It'll show you what it's gonna sound like, and if you want to use it, you can use it. It's that simple. But you don't want to design a voice. You want to generate a voice of maybe some famous person. Then you use instant voice cloning. All you do, say is Morgan Freeman. All you do is upload like 3 files where Morgan Freeman's speaking, and it'll automatically generate it for you, and you add that to voice. That is it. So you've got beautiful voice. You can generate your own voices, and the thing about this is, right, say for example we get like 10 comments about voice. 9 of them are saying your voice is so beautiful, and like, can you sing? We have literally got comments that say, can you sing? Like, I love your voice. And then maybe one person knows it's AI because they have heard of 11 Labs. The people who haven't heard of 11 Labs, they will never be able to guess it's AI. Never, never, ever. It is that good. And say you just want to test out a few different voices, and you want to see if other people have voices. Well, the voice library. Here, there's a bunch. There's thousands. Just scroll. You'll find everything. You'll actually find everything. Coach, great character, storyteller, royal and elegant. It's all type of voices. All you do is just add to Voice Lab, and you go back to speech synthesis, and you just pick whichever one you want. There's so many options. You can generate, you can use the existing ones. These are the 2 good ones. And yeah, that is pretty much it. But one more thing, I want to show you different languages. Say you're here, you're watching this, and you're not English. You want content in Korean, in Japanese, in maybe Hindi. It can be done. And let me show you. Okay, so you're probably hearing foreign languages right now. And this is from the 11 Labs Twitter, because our content is only in English. So we haven't tested foreign languages, but they are good. We have seen it, they are good. And but after this, I also want to show you some of our own examples. I want to show you how Goku sounds. I want to show you how Arthur Morgan sounds. And it sounds really
وماذا عن
good.
رقصة صحراوية تحت النجوم؟ وبالطبع حمص وطبق فلافل. はは。そして桜の下での舞踏会に皆さんを招待するのはどうでしょう?
О, так! А ми могли б танцювати під звуки бандури і співати легенди
Oh, sweetie, I have to say, you used that lasso too good.
I told you, it has many uses.
What the hell is that ringtone?
Shh, be quiet. It's Spider-Man calling. Don't say anything. Hello?
Hey, Danny, what's up, girl? It's your boy Spidey here.
Gentlemen, we're here for the grand horse race between Arthur Morgan and Geralt of Rivia. I'll be your impartial referee.
Yee-haw! Geralt, get ready to eat my dust. My horse is as fast as a bullet.
We'll see about that, Arthur. Roach and I have trained for moments like these.
On your mark.
Well, what have we got here, boys? A mad scientist in a chemistry t-shirt cooking up trouble in Gotham.
Hey, that was only when I had a tail.
Well, on the positive side, you still know when to wag it.
All right, I have heard enough from you, Kryptonian. I am bringing this place down.
Okay, you've got the best content, you've got the best audio. Now let's talk about sound. Well, there's not much to talk about because I have got you covered. I have all the sound ready for you, and some of the best ones, some of the most requested ones, because they keep asking us, what sound is this? What sound is this? And of course, we don't want to give our secrets, but you know, now we will do it, right? We will do it here. But for sound, there's a few stuff I want to tell you. Number one, it is crucial. It is so crucial. It is highly stimulating. These whooshes, these fireballs, these explosions, they engage some part of your brain that you don't even know about, some subconscious part of your brain. It's highly stimulating. It prevents the viewer from leaving from your video. And if you're doing shorts, right, you don't even need epidemic sounds. Just use our library and just go at it, because for shorts, you don't need to license music, nothing. It's no problem. But if you're doing long videos, say you have a website, a blog, I would recommend purchasing epidemic sounds, because you know, all this music, you'll never have problem. You'll be able to earn money. The music you'll be using is licensed, and I think that is pretty much it. Okay, sound was easy, we have that covered. But remember, in the beginning I told you, after Midjourney, it is easy. It's like this, and making characters talk is the same. But it is like this, but still very important, right? All of this is very important, because people on YouTube, some people, right, they know bits of the information. Some people know a little bit of this, some people know a little bit of this, but no one has been able to put it all together and set up like a proper production studio from their bedroom, right? So what you're getting here is like a proper framework. You're able to see the proper workflow, and you're able to see the proper blueprint we're using with real world examples. So let me show you. To make characters talk, you first go to this website. You press create video, and then you add your picture. You write what you wanted to say, You pick a voice, the voice doesn't even matter because you will use 11 Labs voices. And you just generate, and that is done. Okay, we're almost done. We have everything. Our content looks super immersive, it looks beautiful, but this final touch takes it to the next level. And it creates this beautiful experience for the viewer. So this is going to be done in our editing software, and you could have DaVinci Resolve. It's completely free. What you're doing is you're using our folder with overlays, and you're taking these overlays and you're putting them on top of your content. What overlays do is they blend with your content. Overlays blend with your content. So now you have your overlay and you have it on top of your content, and there's two different types of overlays. There's ones with black background and there's ones with green background. If it has a black background, you go to blending options, you click lighten, done. If it has a green background, you go to effects, you pick ultra key, you put it on your overlay, select the ink dropper, select green, and green will vanish. Okay, green vanished, but now let us show you some of our examples. So what we use is stuff like clouds, we'll use fire particles, we'll use smoke, wind, air, but we'll even use birds, and birds look so beautiful. Okay, analytics. So we primarily do YouTube, and on YouTube there's shorts and there's long videos. Shorts earn you subscribers, long videos earn you money. Well, they both earn you money, but that's how it goes, mainly how it goes, right? And for shorts, so you are probably seeing a study conducted, the results of a study conducted on the screen right now. And for shorts, what it shows is that when it appears on someone's feed, you want 70% of people to not skip it. You want 70% of people to watch it. So how do you do that? You make sure your first picture or the first sentence you say is really captivating. And we will talk about this later. I'll give you some tips and tricks. But your first impression is really important. And your first impression needs to hit 70% of people. They need to stick and watch the short. For short engagement, it needs to be high. Below 80%, it is not good. You want people to watch at least 80% of your short. 90%, that is brilliant. 90% means you've done it. But ideally, you want people to watch at least 80-90% of your short. And the longer your short is, if your short is 50 seconds, if your short is 60 seconds, there's a higher chance of it doing better. Because YouTube wants people to watch the video, right? YouTube doesn't want people skipping the video. YouTube doesn't want people watching half the video. So if you have a long video and people are not skipping it, that is what's gonna pop on the algorithm. But that is for shorts. For long videos, it's a bit different because people are just randomly scrolling their feed, right? And your thumbnail pops up. At least 5-6% of people need to click this. And this is called the impression. The impression, the thumbnail pops up, the click-through rate. So this is the impression click-through rate. And 5-6% of people need to click this. And I'll give you tips and tricks how to do this later. And for engagement, the average percentage viewed needs to be at least 40%. If it's not 40%, you're a bit in trouble. The more the merrier. But for engagement, 40% is the minimum, I would say, and that is the average. Okay, so you have analytics and you now know what you need, but what is the result? Let's start by looking at the long video. 200,000 views and we got $800, which is not bad. But how was this calculated? Revenue tab, RPM. So what is RPM? 1,000 views. What is the dollar amount you're going to earn for this 1,000 views? And we earned $3.5, which is not bad. I was expecting this. I'm in the education niche, and if you're in a different type of content, that is fine. Yours is going to be different. But RPM, 1,000 views, the dollar amount you earn. The stats for this video, 40% engagement. Like I told you, this is the baseline. You need at least 40%. And the reach, 5 to 6%, like I told you before. But what is the result of this 40% and this 5 to 6%? The result is that YouTube doesn't stop pushing this video. Look, it is still getting impressions to this day. It's still getting pushed out to more people. And that is the stats for long videos. Okay, so you know long video analytics, you know long video results. Let's look at short results. Starting with the RPM, and this is kind of low, but shorts are very quick, right? People scroll and they watch so many, and it gets pushed out to so many people because of this. So it's $0.05. Don't worry about it. I would calculate in per million views. Per million views, multiply by 1,000. So for every million views on shorts, you're going to get $50 to $70. That's the average, and that is fine. So for us, 10 million views, we got $500. It's fine. Average percentage view is 83%. Remember, we said engagement, we want 80%. Reach, we want 70%. Reach is 78%. Engagement is also better. So the result is we got 10 million views, and we're still getting views to this day. Let's look at this video. 13.7 million views. Percentage viewed higher. Reach 70%. 13.7 million views, $700, and still getting views to this day. This is a new video, 600,000 views, but the average percentage viewed is 95%. The trend is up. Reach 78%. 1.8 million views on this short, 90% engagement. Reach almost 90%. But see, that is done for analytics, because analytics is not important. What is important is you learn and you're ready, because the opportunity will come. Because this is what happened to me. I knew overlays, I knew sound, I knew AI, right? And I was just scrolling my feed. And because I'm a history geek, I saw a lot of history content, and I came across this guy. He's called History Bypass, and he calls himself the king of history short videos. And I saw his content, right? And I was like, I could do so much better, because I was ready. Analytics is not important. I was ready. I see his content. I'm like, I can do so much better. And you know this guy, he still hasn't improved. But let me show you why I can do better. This is his most recent short.
Why did
a guy with a parrot, right?
pirates have parrots? Pirates with
A guy with a parrot, right?
parrots on their shoulders are a class.
A guy with a parrot, right? So this guy, he knows how to create images. He knows overlays. He knows a bit of sound. But he doesn't know pixel motion, number one. He doesn't know DUID. But the most important, he doesn't know how to prompt. He can't get these dynamic pictures. You know, he can't build a story because he doesn't know how to create these images that will build the story, that makes sense in the context. So I was like, let me learn a bit of prompting. Let me get better pictures, and I can do better than this guy. And we are now doing better than this guy. Okay, so now you can create images, and you can create the best images that work with your script, that work in context, and create this immersive experience for the viewer. And this is what the requests were for. This is what people were asking for. Thousands of people, they were saying, how do you put all of this together? How do you make the best images? You know, what is your framework? What is your blueprint? What are you using? So you have all of this covered. But I think there's a little bit more. See, there's always more. So our pictures are really good, right? They're the best. And maybe that's why we're successful. But I think there might be something that's just a little bit more important. And I think that is our understanding of human psychology. And what do I mean by this? See, I was watching the Finding Nemo director, right? He was on stage, he was giving a nice speech, and he was saying people these days, they do not do detective work with their scripts. Their scripts are not engaging because they do not do detective work with their scripts. Well, what does he mean by this, right? And I'll show you this with the worst example possible. Just so you have an understanding of this, right? Can you do detective work with any script? Well, let's see for ourselves. So look at this example, right? I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I walked to the store, the shopkeeper insulted me, I cried and went home. That's a boring script. That is trash. No one wants to listen to that, right? That's like a 2 out of 10. But there is a way. There is a way we can make the viewer watch this. There's still a way, right? How? Well, let me show you. I woke up, and very soon after, I brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth, and then I walked to the store. But out of nowhere, the shopkeeper insulted me. Out of nowhere. And in that moment, I cried and went home. You see, now some of you are thinking, well, that's not that big of a change, but just hear me out, right? So what did I do? I linked it in a way that is both very easy to picture, very easy to visualize, but it is using detective words. And what do I mean by that? Out of nowhere, the shopkeeper insulted me, right? This is detective work. Because out of nowhere, you would say, he took out his gun and he shot. And in that moment, he jumped. You see what I mean? These are phrases, these are words a detective would use in his script, but we can use it in our script. We can use it in any script, right? And we can use a lot of this. And it works, right? Because, and very soon after, and then, but out of nowhere, right? Even if your script is trash, there's like a trajectory, right? It's going up, it's slowly going up. Even if your script is not good right now. I was about to swear, but it's not good right now. And it's going up. So the viewer is gonna watch. The viewer is thinking, okay, there's a climax coming, right? He's giving me detective words. So a climax must come. And very soon after, this happened. And then all of a sudden this happened. But then this happened. So it doesn't matter if your script is not detective. Your script can be anything. It could be a makeup brand. It could be just, something very boring. But add these detective links. Because it makes the viewer keep watching. It makes the viewer think a climax is coming. And even if a climax comes and they don't like the video, well, at least they watch the video, right? So if you make a good script and you use these detective words, they will watch and they will enjoy your video. See, that is my point number one. I hope you understood it and I hope you use it. Point number two, shorter scripts, they need to develop quick and line after line. You write a short script, right? Now analyze it, sentence by sentence. Does your sentence have new stimulus? Each sentence, if it doesn't have new stimulus, if it doesn't have new information, if it's not giving background knowledge, just delete it. Don't use it. Sentence by sentence, new stimulus in your script. Your first impression for shorter scripts is the most important. Well, for anything, right? First impression is the most important. Your first impression, your first sentence needs to be a hook. Your first sentence can be a little bit clickbait. It doesn't matter. Your first sentence needs to be extremely, extremely captivating. And now with this first sentence, use a picture with high brightness and high contrast. And hopefully that should do the job. For longer scripts, of course, the first impression is the most important, right? But this is the first 30 seconds and research shows this. Research shows if people watch the first 30 seconds of your long video, they will watch almost the whole video. So what can you do? Treat your first 30 seconds of your long video like it's a short. Boom, 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 boom. Your first 30 seconds, right? Your intro. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, they think this is interesting, they'll watch the whole video. Even if after the intro there's a bit of backstory, then some action, that's fine. That can be like a normal script. But your intro, treat it like it's a short. Your first 30 seconds, treat it exactly like it's a short. Boom, 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 boom. Stimulus, stimulus, stimulus. Editing, editing, editing. Hook, hook, hook. Okay, now it's time for ChatGPT prompts. But first, let's make two things very clear. Number one, AI is not God. ChatGPT is not God. You need to write your own script. Whatever your vision you have, whatever you're thinking, your brain needs to go into the script. And then you put it into ChatGPT and it improves it. Even if you have a bad script right now, that's fine. Your brain needs to go into this. and then you put it into ChatGPT. How? By giving it logical instructions, by giving it the proper instructions to give you the most effective feedback, and then your script gets better. So you have to write the script, you use ChatGPT, and your script gets better. Number two, since you are writing the script, your prompt needs to be structured in a way where you're always improving, you're constantly learning. And let's see what I mean by this. Okay, so you've written your short script, you've written a paragraph for your long video. Now let's improve this script, even if it's bad, with ChatGPT. See, what most people do to improve is, ChatGPT, can you fix this? Can you make this the highest quality? Can you improve the English in this? You know what this will do? This will ruin your whole paragraph. This will attack every single sentence. And ChatGPT will try to improve every single sentence. Even if this was the Finding Nemo script writer, it will still improve every single sentence. And we need to avoid this, because when it attacks every single sentence, the meaning gets lost. Whatever vision you had for the video will get lost. So we need to get specific feedback. And how do we do this? Can you analyze the English in each sentence, make a list and give remarks to improve or to keep the same? So let's see what it did. As you can see, number 1 and number 2, it tells me that is completely fine. No need to change it. And it's telling me why it's fine. So I'm learning something. Number 3, there's a problem. It says, instead of saying, in criminal fashion, say true to his deceitful nature. So when I actually need improvements, when I actually need help, or the worst part of my script, the one that needs the most help, it's giving me some feedback that I can use and improve. It's not destroying my whole script. And now the list at the end. What this does, right, where it says the narrative is logical, use a consistent tone, ensure transitions between sentences is smooth. You know what this does? This makes you think like a director, like a script writer. It puts you in their shoes, and it gives you this opportunity to learn and improve, so that from 6 months, 12 months from now, you are a better script writer, you are a better director. Because 12 months from now, it can't be you here and this powerful robot doing all the work for you. That will never happen, and that will never be good work. So use this effective, efficient prompt and both improve your script and learn. Okay, so say the last prompt didn't work, or it worked and you just have one sentence that you want to change, right? So now, once again, we are going to ask for specific feedback. We are going to ask for exactly what we need. Don't let ChatGPT do the thinking for you, right? Because ChatGPT doesn't know what point you're trying to convey. ChatGPT doesn't know what you think is the cool part of the script. It doesn't know the meaning behind the script. ChatGPT doesn't know any of this, you know? So what you ask ChatGPT is, can you give me 10 ways of seamlessly writing that sentence, and give me a reasoning for why I should use each and its benefit? This is the important part, right? Because ChatGPT doesn't know what you're thinking, what the point you're trying to convey to your audience. It will not know this. So the benefit of this prompt, right? It gives you 10 options for the sentence, and it explains the context of each sentence. You want to add an element of surprise to the narrative, use this one in a shocking twist. You want to highlight the sequence of events, use this one. You just want to show the emphasis of the son's victimization, the poor son, then use this one. Or you want to put some focus on this specific part, then use this sentence. You see what I mean? Okay, so this last one is a general one, but I wanted to add this because I use this a lot, every single time. Why? Because my script needs to be 2 things. Cohesive. Number 1, cohesive. My sentences need to flow. They need to be linked together in a way where it makes sense. The transition is smooth, is flowing. Number 2, comprehensible. What I want to tell the viewer, what I'm thinking, is the viewer thinking the same thing. If then yes, then it's comprehensible. So cohesive, it flows. Comprehensible, the viewer understands what you're trying to tell it. So I'll ask this every single time. Every single time I'm doing a script, I'll ask it, is this cohesive? Is this comprehensible? But what I do next is explain how you made it more comprehensible, right? And this is so beautiful. For example, in this, it's telling me, you have this idea in this paragraph and you have this idea in this paragraph. Let's separate these ideas a bit. Right? You're thinking like a scriptwriter, you're thinking like a director, you're improving. And it's so clear. Or clear attribution, number 3, is telling me you have this character, you have this figure, and he is responsible for this. So why don't we make his responsibility a bit clearer so the viewer understands that this thing is attributed to this character? You know, things like this. It is so good, it is so important, and I hope you use it. Okay, you are almost done at this point. You almost have everything, but before you leave, let me give you 2 quick editing tips. These were our most requested. Number 1 is texture overlays. Remember you used overlays before for stuff like rain, clouds, fire, dust. It's the same way we use these texture overlays now. What is texture? Stuff like crumbled paper, stuff like retro paper. So what you do is we provide you these textures, you just drag it onto your editing software. So mine is right here. I will put it on top of my image and I will still go to blending like we did before, but this time I will multiply. I want it to be one with my picture. Multiply, and the opacity 100 might be too much, so I'll put 40. And now look at my picture. It has this cool crumbled paper effect. You know, my picture becomes one with the texture and it is one crumbled paper image, and it's dynamic and it's engaging. It's not just a still boring picture. So that is number 1. Number 2 is, how can we make this picture move around? We get this a lot, and we do this with all our pictures on our videos. So what we're doing to make it move around is we're keyframing the position. In what time it is here, in another time it's here, in another time it's here, in another time it's here. That's what keyframing is. So in the beginning, we want it to be exactly where it is, no problem. We go a bit forward, we want it to be a bit left and a bit up. We're gonna move this in a circle with our keyframes. Then we move it again, and now we want it to be to the right and a bit up. Now we want it right and a bit down, and now we're gonna bring it back to wherever it was in the beginning. So we took this in a circle, right? And we keyframed it at every position, and now it's gonna follow our instructions. Watch this. It looks beautiful, and that is it. Now go. Okay, go, but go where? Number 1, go to the Discord. Join the Discord. If you're watching this, please join the Discord. Let's talk. Nothing. Let's just talk, right? What could we have done better? What did we do bad? Do you want to know more about analytics? Do you want to see it? Do you want to know some more prompts? Anything, any questions you have, a live feedback. We'll get into a group and we'll talk. We all think the same way. We're all in this creative space. Let's just talk. Even if I was speaking too fast, just give me feedback. You know, you could have spoken a bit slower. No problem. I'll be like, okay, fine. So just join the Discord and let's talk. We all think the same way. Let's just talk. Number 2, don't worry about opportunity now. Just learn. Understand every single concept that was discussed in all of these videos. Learn what prompting is. Learn how to make the best images. Learn how to make engaging scripts, because the opportunity will come. Learn editing techniques, because the opportunity will come. It will come out of nowhere, but at least you will be ready, right? Okay, so now you've joined the Discord, and say you've learned everything. Where do you go from here? Well, the world is your oyster. The possibilities are endless. Go make you're a production studio. Go make a show. Go make a comedic Game of Thrones season 7. Go make top 10 dinosaurs that went extinct and you're glad they went extinct. Top 10 scariest dinosaurs. Go make documentary style videos. You know, imagine you made a video saying, what do UFO prototypes actually look like? Or what does a colony on Mars actually look like? And you make 8K pictures and show them what a colony on Mars actually looks like. Or you just make comedic videos of Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg arguing with each other. You know, the possibilities are absolutely endless. And if you're creative, you will make this work. But number one, join Discord. Number two, learn. And then number three, go for these opportunities. Okay, one final thing I missed, because there is an opportunity for us to work together, right? Say you're in the Discord, I'm in the Discord. Be clever about this. Don't just say, hey, let's work together. That means nothing. I will never reply. Or I'll just say, what do you even mean? Say, I am this person. This is what I know. This is my skill. And let's work together on this. Or say, can you teach me this? This is me. This is what I know. Can you teach me this? Let's work together on this. And then I'll be like, okay, let's talk a bit more. So your opportunities are endless. We want people to work with. We want editors. We want prompt writers. This can be like work experience for you. And you can learn from us, and you will get paid for this. So your opportunities are endless. Okay, resources. So what apps, what websites do we need to create this ultimate masterpiece? Well, there's 6. So take a note of this. There's 6. But number 1, we're going to use Midjourney. This is the all-encompassing content creator. This is your image generator. But why Midjourney? Because it's the fastest. It gets pictures done within seconds. And it's the most powerful. It'll get you 8K ultra-realistic pictures, natural sunlight. Okay, now you've got your picture. But let's take it to the next level. For this, it depends on the picture, but you have to use this app called Pixamotion. And what this does is minor animations. For example, look at this picture, Joan of Arc. This is a 600-year-old woman, and the picture looks brilliant, right? And so do the flames. But look how it's moving. Let's be real, that is Hollywood. That is Hollywood. Okay, you've got your picture, it's getting somewhere, but now we need audio, right? For audio, we're going to use this software, this website called 11 Labs. And 11 Labs is so easy to use. And the opportunities are endless. Like the amount of voices available are limitless. You can get cartoonish voices. You can get deep narrators. You can even get seductive women. But if that's not enough, you can make your own voices and we will teach you both. You could make like Morgan Freeman's voice. You could make some famous woman's voice. The opportunities are endless. Okay, you've done 1, 2, 3. You've got your picture, it's looking beautiful with some minor animations, and you've got your audio. So now 4, 5, and 6. And these are super important because these 4, 5, and 6 are going to create this super immersive experience. Starting with number 4, which is sound. So sound, you have to use audios that have already worked. There's a proof of concept. It has worked on TikTok already. It has worked on Instagram already. And this is first background music. This can be romantic, this can be action, this can be mystery, horror. It depends on your content, but you have to use good sound. And in addition to good background music, you have to use good sound effects. This is whooshes, this is whips, this is explosions. But the good thing about sound is that we have a folder for you at the end, which has all of this sound covered. And it will get you started. So that's 4 covered. Sound is important. Number 5, DUID. So you've got Joan of Arc, you've got these characters you want in your content, right? You put them into DUID. Just upload your picture, write in what you want it to say, and it'll start talking. It'll bring these pictures back to life. Seriously. That's number 5. Number 5 is easy. Number 6, at this point you have everything. You have people talking, you have animations, you have audio, you have good sound. But we can do just a little bit more and take it to a complete new level. And that is by adding stuff like leaves falling down, lightning in the back, air particles, wind particles. If you're in the desert, sand, or even some kissing emojis, just as a little bit extra to create this super immersive experience for the viewer. But even this is going to be easy for you because we have a folder at the end with all of this covered. All you have to do is take it, drag it onto your editing software. That is it. So you've got these 6 things and it is a bit of a list, but what is the result? The result is something the world has never seen before. It is high quality content and it is super immersive, and this is perfect for the algorithm. People will actually watch this because I see a lot of people, they put no effort. They just want to upload 20 shorts quick or like these ads that say press 1 button and you'll have 20 reels cut out for you and just throw them into the algorithm. That is the single worst plan I've ever heard of. You put 20 bad shorts into the algorithm or 20 bad videos, and you're just hoping that one of them catches the algorithm, that is the worst plan. And it's not even me saying the worst plan. The algorithm is going to make sure those videos never succeed. But if you put just a little bit more time and make sure your content is high quality and super immersive.
The peasant girl who was chosen by God. Upon hearing divine voices, a 17-year-old Joan of Arc begged the prince to allow her onto the battlefield. A bizarre request for a young girl, but the lack of fear in her eyes was indisputable. In no time, she found herself in Orléans, rallying troops, but not from the sidelines. Joan craved the heart of the fray. She took an arrow to the neck and a crossbow to the leg, yet remained undeterred. Soon, she was working alongside the commander, personally scaling siege ladders in the Loire Valley. It was an extraordinary sight, and the English were left baffled, unable to fathom how a young woman, let alone an untrained 17-year-old, could conquer the battlefield. They were convinced she was possessed by the devil. On the other hand, Joan was quickly becoming a French icon, but she was far from immortal. She was eventually captured and found guilty of charges that included witchcraft and the crime of dressing like a man.
Okay, so before you start Midjourney, yes, we are going to teach you the basics of Midjourney, but that is not our point. You can learn the basics of Midjourney from anywhere, right? People all over the internet have AI pictures, but what they don't have is 8K ultra realistic AI pictures. And we are going to teach you how to get those pictures by being good at prompting, by being good at telling the AI specific logical instructions that give you these 8K pictures, right? Because people on the internet have pictures that look like paintings. That's fine. They have pictures that look like it's 360p quality. That is fine. But how do you get a picture that looks ultra realistic? It looks like real life and it looks 8K. That is our job, and we are going to teach you prompting, how to get those pictures. But number two is who on YouTube has pictures, right? AI pictures that fit their context. They cannot generate them, right? If you just go into Midjourney and say, can you make a picture of Alexander the Great doing this, doing that? You will not get that picture ever. You could refresh like 400 times, that picture will not come up. You have to be clever about this, right? You want Alexander the Great on his white horse, and in the background, you want a battle to be taking place, right? Something so immersive, something that makes sense with your script. How do you get a picture like this? That is our job, and that is what we're going to show you.
All right, time to get serious now. How to generate the best quality AI images. So for this, we use Midjourney. If you haven't heard about it before, just let me quickly show you how to access it. So all you need to do is go to Google, type Midjourney, and this window should pop up, and you should click sign in with Discord, which is where I am right now. And what will happen is you will essentially be taken to one of these newbie rooms where you'll have 30 to 40 trial images before they ask you for a payment subscription. But if you have a payment subscription like me, you will get access to a private room like this where you can generate your own pictures. So before we begin, just let me quickly show you their payment subscriptions. So if I click on subscription plans, as you can see, there are 4 subscription plans, and by the way, all of them have unlimited image generations, so you don't have to worry about that. The only difference is the amount of fast hours that you get, meaning that the more you pay, the more fast hours you get. And what it essentially means is how faster your images are going to be produced. All right, so we are here in Midjourney. The first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have the best settings possible to produce the highest quality images. So I'll show you the settings that I use. And for that, to access settings, all you need to do is type / write settings on your keyboard and hit enter. And this should automatically pop up on your screen. So first we have the latest, the model selection, and you want to make sure that you use the latest model, which is 5.2. If I click here, you can see there's 5.0, 5.1. You want to make sure that you're on 5.2, which is the latest model, and it produces the highest quality images. Next, we have stylizing options. There's stylizing low, there's stylizing medium, there's stylizing high, there's stylizing very high. See, for this, I have felt like stylizing very high, I have found out that it works out the best, because even though it says stylizing, I think it has something to do with the image quality as well. I have tried out all of them, and I can tell you that stylizing very high produces the highest quality images. So I really recommend that you use stylizing very high for your images. If we move down, we have high variation mode and we have low variation mode. And I have this on low variation mode, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like sometimes when you have it on high variation mode, it follows its own instincts more than it follows you. On low variation mode, it kind of listens to you more than follow itself. So for example, I have here Alexander the Great riding his horse going into battle. So if you have this on high variation mode, you might see that instead of a horse here, you might see an elephant, and we obviously don't want that. So to get the highest quality images and to get Midjourney to listen to you, I really recommend you stylize very high and low variation mode. If we move to the left, we have remix mode. I think by default this will be on remix mode. You don't have to worry about it, just keep it there on remix mode. If I move down, we have fast mode, we have relax mode, we have turbo mode, and I told you about fast hours in the last video. And basically what this means is the more higher your payment subscription plan is, the more fast hours you get. And basically once your fast hours run out, you will get a message from Midjourney and you will need to switch from fast mode to relax mode. But I can assure you that this has nothing to do with the image quality. It's just that on relax mode it'll take a long time to produce that image. On fast mode it'll be a lot quicker. So these are the settings I use, and in the next video let's get into it. So we are ready to make our first picture in Midjourney. In order to do that, let's go to message Midjourney bot, type / write imagine, and then hit enter. As you can see, Midjourney has recognized that we are about to enter a prompt. So for our first image, let's use the same command as I have used in the example photo above. Alexander the Great riding his horse going into battle. I'll copy that and I'll paste it right here. You might be thinking, why am I not copying photorealistic 8K natural lighting and all of that above? That is the addition that I have done, which I'll teach you later on in one of my secret prompts video that I'll give you later. And you might also notice I'm not using any of these links that I have, and I'll tell you that also later on in one of my videos what these do. But let's create our first image using the basics, and let's see what comes up. So I'll hit enter. And while this image is loading up, let me just tell you that this S70 right here just means how much your stylizing option is. You don't have to worry about that. You don't need to type it. Midjourney will automatically access it. Our result from our first prompt is already here. So let's take a look at it. Let's compare the result that we got using a simple command, Alexander the Great riding his horse going into battle, with the result that we got with the Ultra Pro command. So as you can see, there's two major differences here. The number one major difference is the quality of the image. See, this is just a basic quality image, whereas this is like an ultra realistic movie like high quality image. Look, notice the contrast between the white horse and the orange dusty cloud in the background. Like it's so immersive, and it's impossible for the viewer to click off after that. But this doesn't happen in the second image, and the reason for that is this secret prompt that I have right here. And I tell you that this is just the most basic prompt. I'll teach you better ones that will take you to the ultimate level. So this is the number one difference. The number two difference is how vividly it captures the actual action that you're defining. See, the action is Alexander the Great riding his horse going into battle. It's the same here, it's the same right here as well. But you see, this image actually captures the action a lot better. See, there's a battle going on in the background. Alexander is riding his horse. I can imagine that. It's immersive for me. I'll continue watching that. But you see here, is he really in a battle scene? Are there not, like, is he riding into wilderness? Is there mountains in the background? Like, it doesn't make sense, right? And I'll tell you why this is happening. This is happening because I'm not using these links in the new prompt, and I'll teach you all about that, how to get from this level to the ultimate level in my later videos. But first, let's stick to the basics so you can get the ultimate command of this software. So talking about basics, what you would have noticed is Midjourney always gives you 4 results for any prompt that you enter: 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then what you can do is you can either upscale it or vary it. U means upscale here and V means vary here. And what these numbers mean is basically what image you want to upscale or what image you want to vary. So U1 means it'll upscale image 1, and U3 means it'll upscale image 3, and so on and so forth. See, I just want to tell you that in order to download any image, you would have to upscale it. So let's upscale this one. And if you see this thing called vary, I personally never use it because the variations are so subtle that they almost make no difference at all. So I personally don't recommend you varying it right here, but I'll teach you where to vary, and that comes when you have upscaled the image. But let's still test it out. What does variation does right here? So what I've done is I've varied the image 2, I've upscaled image 2, and I've upscaled also image 3. So as you can see is now they have made the second image bigger, the third image bigger, and variation is still loading. And this is where I use the variations because previously right here, I don't think there's a lot of advantage of using variations because it doesn't make any difference at all. And I'll show you right here when the result comes out for this. It actually has. So let me show you this. So this is the variation that it has given me for the second image. As you can see, it's very close to the one that we have right here. It almost makes no difference, so there's no point at all. But what makes difference is if you click this to the upscale image. This is the upscale image, image 2 right here. If I click this very strong and now I send it into the Midjourney bot, now what you will see is a lot difference. If I click this, is the same thing is going to happen, very subtle. It's going to give me 4 results that are very close to the second image. It's not going to do anything to me. And the third option we have is vary region. What region means is, let me show you right here. If I click this, it will enlarge the image and it will show me what area do I want the region to be changed. Let's say I don't like the shape of his hand right here, or I don't like this man riding a horse in the background. So I'll just draw a rectangle over it, and then I'll click this, and now let's see what the result comes. But this has already shown us variation strong that we have already clicked right here. So you can see the variation strong do work, and they are a lot more different than the one that you have upscaled. This is the one that we upscaled for the image 2. And these are the results that we get. As you can see, there's a lot difference here in variation strong than variation subtle, which almost makes no difference at all. With that being said, our basics are almost covered. There's just one important thing for me to teach you. See, Midjourney by default always gives you result 1:1. So if I go back up to the upscale image, this is 1:1, this is 1:1. But see, TikTok Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, they are all 9:16. So how do we get from 1:1 to 9:16? And that's very simple. You copy the same command that you had here, Alexander the Great riding into battle. Copy that, type /imagine. And by the way, /imagine you always have to do before you write a prompt. And you paste this. Just at the end though, you put a comma, you hit a space bar, you put 2 dashes, AR, you put another space bar, 9:16. and then you hit enter, and basically AR means aspect ratio. 9:16 is what ratio you want. Dash dash is what you need to enter so that the Midjourney recognizes the code. It recognizes that you are entering an aspect ratio. So let's also create another aspect ratio, which is for the YouTube long videos, and that is the complete opposite of 9:16. It's 16:9. So let's do that as well. / imagine, and then dash dash AR 16:9. So you see the result for 9:16 is already here, and you can see it's a lot vertical than wider as compared to 1:1. And this is what works for TikTok Reels, for Instagram Reels, for YouTube Shorts. This is what you need to be using for that. And for the long form videos, you need to be using 16:9, which is just coming up in a bit. So the result for 16:9 is already here. As you can see, this is a lot wider than vertical. 9:16 is the complete opposite. It's more vertical than wider. And then this is the 1:1, which is the default Midjourney. And if I upscale this, you'll notice that it'll be a lot wider. You can already notice this in this, but just to make it more clear. And you can see this is a lot wider. This is a lot more vertical. This is what you need to be using for TikTok Reels, 9:16. This is what you need to be using for YouTube long videos, 16:9. For YouTube Shorts, you need to be using this again. So now I'll take a quick recap of what we learned, because that was a lot of information for you to digest if you haven't used Midjourney or AI before. So the number one thing we did is we learned how to create an image with Midjourney. The number two thing we did is how to upscale that image. The number three thing we learned is how to vary that image by variation strong, variation subtle, or variation region. And the last thing we learned is how to create specific aspect ratio. 9:16, 16:9, and 1:1 is just default. You don't need to enter any aspect ratio for that. And in the next tutorials, we'll take it from the basic level to the ultimate level. Okay, so now that we have our basis covered up, it's time to learn more about prompting. See, so my prompts, they always have two main things. Number one is me explaining the action, and the other part of the prompt is me describing the quality of the image. So let me show you, for example, here. I have ancient Macedonian generals pondering their war strategy, sitting on a table, tense environment, they are all in a palace court. And this is me describing the action of the image, like what's going to be in the image. I say that they're going to be generals, they're sitting, they're discussing a war strategy. That's the action happening inside the image. The rest of the prompt, which is from here till here, photorealistic, 8K, natural lighting, HDR, high resolution. This is me trying to improve the quality of the image. So photorealistic and 8K, what it does is it kind of improves the quality of the image, making it more realistic. Natural lighting, of course, would mean that there's going to be light coming onto the picture. Let me show you right here. So this is kind of the natural lighting coming here. This is natural lighting shining right into the table. You can see it's here as well, and it's kind of here as well. And then we have HDR. So HDR is high dynamic range. What it does is it kind of captures the areas which have more brightness and kind of the areas which have shadows. So let me see. So let's see, this is more brighter, this is kind of more shadow. It captures all of it together in more detail than a standard image, which can only capture it with less detail. So I've upscaled one of these images, and let's see what it looks like. See, so it is a very high quality image, but we have to take it to the next level from here. I showed you the example of Alexander image where he was riding into battle on his horse, but without this prompt, photorealistic, 8K, natural lighting, HDR, high resolution, and the result was Midjourney giving us a very average picture. But here, as you see, in another example where I added this prompt, in addition to the action, it gave us a very ultra realistic picture. But we have to take it another level from here. So let's see what else can we do. So now what I've done is, in addition to this prompt, I have added some other prompts. So the action remains the same, and I did this on purpose so we can compare the result better. So as you can see, ancient Macedonian generals pondering their war strategy, sitting on a table. This remains the same. This is the action. And then if you see, I have depth of field, superb sharpness and contrast, and photorealistic 8K natural lighting. This is same as I had here. So the only thing I added in this example is depth of field, superb sharpness, and contrast. So let's see what Midjourney gave us. So as you can see, it gave us an even higher quality picture, and that's because we added contrast. And as you can see, the contrast of these images is way better than these images, and they're super sharp as well. And depth of field basically means is one object or one person in this case is in super focus, while the rest of the image is sort of blurry. It's not entirely blurry, but it's sort of blurry, so that it creates an even better contrast and it's even more engaging. So let's see this in upscale. So this was our first image, and this is our second image. As you can see, it's a lot more higher quality. Now let's see if we can take this to even a further level. So for that, I have this prompt. So the action still remains the same. It's ancient Macedonian generals pondering their war strategy, sitting on a table. This remains the same. Photorealistic 8K natural lighting HDR, this also remains the same. But what I have now is Canon EOS R5. So this basically right here is a camera. And what I have written ahead is basically the lens of that camera. So most people don't know that you can actually treat Midjourney as a camera. So now what I'm asking Midjourney to do is create me an image using a professional photography camera, and this takes it to another level. And now if I compare the pictures from this prompt to the previous prompt, you can see that it even gets higher. The quality, let's see it in upscale. The quality even improves. So this was the second image. This was the first image that we had. Here I did not add depth of field, superb sharpness and contrast. When I added that, it improved the quality more. And now when I have entered the prompt of a professional photography camera, it has even improved the quality. But we are not done here yet. There is a way to improve this even further. And for that, I have this prompt. So the action still remains the same. Ancient Macedonian generals pondering their war strategy, sitting on a table. And I've done this so we can compare it better. Photorealistic 8K natural lighting HDR, this remains the same. But now what I have is, notice this, shot on IMAX laser, and I'll tell you what it is. Shot on IMAX laser. IMAX laser is basically a projection technology. If you go to a cinema to watch a movie, the projector that is showing you those videos, those images, is what is IMAX laser technology. And this takes it to the ultimate level. As you can see, the colors are just impeccable. The contrast, everything about it is just impeccable. You know, one of my favorite characters from the Boys series, Homelander, it's his famous dialogue. It was perfect. So let's now compare all the four pictures. So this was when I added just the basic action, and then I defined Midjourney to improve the quality by saying photorealistic 8K natural lighting HDR. It's a good quality image, it's ultra realistic, but to take it to another level, I did depth of field, superb sharpness, contrast. It improved the quality further. And then what we had is we shot this image using a professional photography camera, Canon EOS R5. And this right here is the ultimate level. As you can see, this is much like the colors on this image. Look at the color of that beard and the way it like contrasted itself with the light and the hairs. That it's like ultra real. And here what I did is I basically asked Midjourney to use a projector of a cinema. So we have created several prompts on people. First it was Alexander. Now it's kind of more people into one picture. But let's create a picture on scenery. So for that, I have this prompt that I've used. Ocean waves hitting a tall sandy mountain, view from the top of the hill, high contrast, shimmering sun rays, and then the rest is the same. So here I've just added shimmering and sun rays, the reason for that is I kind of always, when I'm doing a scenery, I kind of always want that glitter in my picture, like a shiny thing, and sun rays hitting my picture. Even if this was a forest scene, I would have probably done this. If this was desert, I would have probably done this. This is ocean, water, I did this. And you can see there's sun rays in every picture, and kind of looks like a shiny picture. But you know, one thing I would tell you here is, when I created this image, in my mind I had a picture that the ocean waves were hitting like a tall mountain. But if you see this picture, the ocean waves are kind of like hitting the shore. They're not hitting like a tall mountain. And so this prompting that I've been teaching you, this does not have anything to do with the action. This shimmering photorealistic 8K HDR, this does not have anything to do with the action. This improves only the quality of the picture. But what is one thing that we can do to improve the action that we are describing to Midjourney, so that Midjourney actually gives us most of the time the action that we want? And that's where the art of blending comes in. If you remember, I talked about those links that I had in my example Alexander image, and I showed you and I told you that I would tell you about those links later. So now is the time that I'll teach you about the art of blending. Okay, so let's talk about blending now. We've already seen how to improve the quality of the images, but the main question is now how to actually get Midjourney to give you the kind of image, the action in the image that you want. So for this, we use the Midjourney community feed, and let me tell you what that is. So if I go on Google and write Midjourney community feed, I will go to Midjourney showcase, and then I will go to explore. So let me tell you what this actually is. It's basically the community feed of Midjourney, where a lot of people that have created their images get uploaded to the community feed, and here you can basically use their images to create your own images by blending. And let me tell you how that is done. So if you remember, I told you that when I created this prompt, even though this is a high quality image, as you can see here, it's a high quality image, but in my mind I had like a tall mountain or a tall cliff, and the ocean waves were hitting that tall cliff. But Midjourney, as you can see, has failed to capture the action that I wanted. So how do I do that? So I'll go to the Midjourney community feed, and I'll write let's write ocean waves hitting a tall cliff. See, now this is the kind of image that I was actually expecting. You know, I expected that there'll be a tall cliff and the ocean waves will kind of like bounce off it. So I really like this image. So let's go ahead and let's save this image. So this image is saved. I'll go back to Midjourney Discord, and using this plus icon here, I'll upload the image I just downloaded from the Midjourney community feed. Open, enter, and now the image that we downloaded, it is here in Midjourney bot. So we right click the image and we do copy link, and then we enter the prompt how we usually create an image. So /imagine. Midjourney recognizes that you are about to enter a prompt. I paste the link, and now what I'll do is I'll go to the same prompt that I used for this, ocean waves hitting a tall sandy mountain, and then the quality, and then the rest of the prompt is just improving the quality. I'll go here, I'll paste this, and I'll hit enter. And now let's see what Midjourney gives us. So this is what Midjourney has given us. Now this is the kind of picture that I had imagined in my head when I wrote this prompt, that the ocean waves will be hitting a cliff and then they'll bounce off, there'll be sun rays. And if you want more options, you can always click on the redo button and click on submit, and it will have a go again. But see, what blending does is basically gives Midjourney an input that, you know, follow this kind of action, and then you do your own additions. So this is an image of ocean waves hitting a tall cliff. I copied the link, I entered it in my prompt, and I said ocean waves hitting a tall, rugged, and sandy mountain. And then I said high contrast shimmering sun rays, and it added sort of glitter, it added sun rays. So it's like giving Midjourney something to work with. So like it understands your point of view, it understands your action, and then it follows your command more. But this is about scenery, right? This is much easier to handle, but when it comes to people, it gets a little bit trickier. See, what if you wanted to create an image of, let's say, Julius Caesar giving a speech in the Senate of Rome? See, if you don't give Midjourney something to work with there, it's Midjourney's choice to decide what Julius Caesar looks like. Is he tall? Is he short? Is he fat? Is he old? Is he young? It's Midjourney's choice. I mean, it will always be a high quality images because the prompts that I have taught you in the previous section of my videos, they will give you a high quality image, but you won't be able to decide how does Julius Caesar actually look like. So how do we do that? So for this, let's see actually how does Julius Caesar even look like. So I go to Google and I search Julius Caesar statue. Let's go to images and let's try to pick a very clean image. This looks clean enough to me. Let's download this image. And now let's paste it in Midjourney. Okay, so apparently this is what Julius Caesar looked like in real life. But now the art will be, how do we create an image of Julius Caesar in high quality from just a statue? So for this, let's copy this link, /imagine. Now let's enter our prompt. Julius Caesar, dictator of Rome, giving a speech in the Senate. And now let's copy the prompt that I showed you before and from one of these images. Let's copy this one. Don't worry about --S750, that's just what's in your settings, the settings that I have shown you. Just copy the prompt, paste this, and now let's see what Midjourney gives us. So the result is here, and let's take a look at it. See, the quality is still there, but you might have noticed like the colors look too fake, like the colors are nowhere near as compared to the rest of the prompts that we have been doing. And the reason for that is because of this statue image that we have. See, Midjourney is now thinking that we are trying to create a statue, but we are not actually creating a statue. We just want the face of the statue in a real person with the same quality as the images before that we created. So what I do for this is, my hack for this is I go to this image and I select the best image out of them. To me, number 4 probably looks the better from them. So I'll click upscale here and then wait for the image to load up. Once the image is here, what I would do is I will click on very strong. I would never use these variations. I will not use variation subtle, but I'll use variation strong a lot. And the reason for this is I'm trying to reapply the prompt that I have from here till here again and again on the image to improve the colors. Think of it like a filter, right? Think of this image that we had here like a dirty water filled with sand, yeah, but we have to filter out the sand. So it goes through the first screening process, and you've got 20% clean. You know, it's better than an actual statue, but it still needs more color to make it more ultra realistic. So we click on variations again and we reapply the prompt, try to screen it more, and then what it gives us is this. Now the quality is even higher, so it's getting there. But let's scale 2 of these, and now what we will do is we will vary them again. Variation strong, submit, variation strong, submit. And as this screening process is done, as what I call this as an example is like a filtration process, as this is done, you will see that the colors are improving, because what this essentially is doing is reapplying this prompt over and over again, and Midjourney starts to build the person. And the reason why we are doing this is to get this person's face close to the one that we uploaded here, close to the statue. As you can see, it's actually very, very close. And now the colors are even improving. Now if you see, it's very much alike, but even here it's not done yet. Even though the color has significantly improved as we have gone through the screening process and we have varied it again and again, reapplying the prompt again and again, like twice. You can do it 3 times. After 3 times it will pretty much be the same. But here's what I will do now to improve it even further. Upscale a few of the images that you like. And once they are here, what you will now do is you will now blend this picture and then use the same prompt. So let's copy this link. Imagine. Now I paste this and then I copy the same prompt right here and I give it here. And now let's see what shows up. See, basically what I have done is, first I used the blended picture of a statue, and Midjourney couldn't improve it that much because I did not give it enough to work with, and I gave it a very poor quality picture to work with, and it essentially tried to copy it using my prompt, but it couldn't improve it significantly. What I did is I varied it again and again to try to improve the colors, and it started to improve the colors, but now it's almost 99% what it can do is done. But now what we can do is use one of these images and copy this link and paste it here and see what comes up. And now, as you can see, it's very ultra real and it's very classy. So I upscaled the image that we now got, and this is what it looks like. So let's put them on big screen and we'll compare them all together. Let's compare this, and let's also compare the first one that we got. And this was the original one. Okay, so this was the original one. The first time I blended this picture, I wrote my prompt. This is the result Midjourney gave us. I tried to improve it again. How did I improve it? I varied it strong. I upscaled this image. I reapplied the prompt by clicking on very strong. It improved the colors, but it's still not done yet. So instead what I did is now I copied the link of this image and I tried to improve it further, and I got this. Now this is a very ultra realistic picture. And now if I compare the result of this image with this statue, you can see it actually looks a lot like this statue, which is, now it seems like the actual Julius Caesar is giving a speech more than 2000 years ago in Rome. And this is the result that we wanted to obtain. So if I show you some of the result that people have put up for Julius Caesar, I'll show you how much this is better. So this is the community feed area. This is what people have made Julius Caesar look like, and there are thousands of these. If I go here, it will never end. And if I go to my images that we have now created just in like 5-6 minutes, you can see it's the best out of them. So this is my secret of creating ultra realistic pictures of people who have lived thousands of years ago, and all we have of them is a statue. We just used a picture of a statue to create this ultra realistic picture with vibrant colors. But now the question is, how do we develop consistency in our storyline? What I mean is, how do we get this person right here to do a different action? You might want to see Julius Caesar leading his army. You might want to see Julius Caesar talking to the people of Rome. You might want to see Julius Caesar doing a different action than this. But you want the same face of Julius Caesar so that it's consistent with your storyline. So how do we do that? And that's what I'll be teaching you in the next section. Okay, so now let's achieve consistency in our storytelling. That means that how do we get the same person to perform a different task or a different action? Let's say we want a picture of Julius Caesar leading his troops into battle. So what I will do for that is, I'll right click this image, I'll copy the link, and I will write the image prompt. I'll paste the link and then write the prompt. Julius Caesar leading his army into battle. Julius Caesar looks focused and determined. We want him to look determined. And then we can say Roman army standing behind Julius Caesar. And to improve the quality of the picture, as usual, we paste this, copy this, and then paste it right here. And now let's see what Midjourney gives us. So here's what Midjourney has given us. Let's have a look at it. See, it's a good quality images. There's good depth of field. Julius Caesar is in the focus. The rest of the people standing behind him are blurry. But see, I have personally got a problem with the picture. The problem is there are columns in the background here, there are columns here, there are columns kind of here, and I can notice them here too. And I'll tell you the reason for this. The reason for this is we created this image using this picture. See, and this picture had a lot of columns in the background. See, Midjourney cannot ignore the content of the picture that you blended to create a prompt. Even though Midjourney followed my command, which was Julius Caesar is going to be leading his army, he's going to be at the front, his army is going to be standing behind him, and Midjourney did that, but it did not entirely ignore what was inside the image that we blended to obtain this result. So now the question is, how do we remove those columns from here and get like a more real picture of a battlefield which is kind of plain? And that is what I'm going to show you next. So in order to achieve a realistic picture of a battlefield where Julius Caesar is leading his men, we need to be inputting that image into our prompt. So instead of using one image in the prompt, which we used this, we need to be using another image in our prompt. So we will essentially be using two blended pictures in our prompt. The number one picture will be this, the number two picture will be of a realistic battlefield. So to obtain an image of a realistic battlefield, we have two options. We can either go to the Midjourney community feed and search there, or we can simply go on Google and see what Google gives us. So in this case, let's try Google. So Google battle pictures in movies. Let's do that. And let's see if Midjourney has something useful for us. I mean Google. I really like this picture. It's very plain. I can see the dust in the background, which is kind of realistic. It's a battlefield. A lot of people are standing. I think we should download this picture and upload it on Midjourney Discord. So we'll go here. We'll upload this picture right here. And then what we do is we blend this picture and this picture, we blend both the pictures. So copy link, imagine, we paste this link, we hit a space bar, and then we copy this link, and then we copy the same prompt we use here. And now let's see what Midjourney gives us. So this is now what Midjourney has given us. Let's take a look at it. And now if you see, you can kind of imagine that it's more realistically like a battlefield. I can see those mountains in the background. I can see sand in the background. People are holding, the soldiers are holding flags, and Julius Caesar is right in front leading them. So now what I can do is I can upscale this image and try to improve the quality even further. And I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Remember, I told you last time, whenever you blend a standard image, you always have to vary it strong to improve the quality further. The quality of this image was really good, but the picture of this picture was of standard quality. So when I blend them together, the result was an image of good quality, but not as good as it can get. So our mission is to maximize the result that we can get. So for that, we will vary it strong. And by the way, I would like to tell you that whenever you're blending two pictures together, always try to use at least one picture that is good quality. So in this case, this was a standard image that we got from Google. This image we had already produced, which was high quality. But let's say if I had blended this picture with the original picture like this, or perhaps even worse like this, the result would have been very awful. So we don't want to do that. We always want to make sure at least one of the pictures is of high quality, and then we can vary it strong to maximize that quality. So if we go here now, I can see that it has started to improve. Julius Caesar is leading his men at the start. I can see sand in the background. His soldiers are standing right behind him. It gives a very majestic image. So that's how you maintain consistency in your images. And remember, if you don't like an image, you can always redo it by varying it strong. You can go here and press the redo button, because it's highly unlikely that you will get your desired result that you imagined in your head the first time you try these prompts. You always have to go through a process, try it 4 times, 5 times, and you will eventually get the desired result. But at the end of the day, this is how you use the same character to do different tasks. Let's say if I was using Julius Caesar to give a speech to the people of Rome, what I would do is I would get a picture from the community feed of Roman people standing outside, let's say, the Senate, and then I would have blended it with the original picture of Julius Caesar, and then I would have written the prompt, Julius Caesar is talking to the people of Rome outside the Senate. I would have copy pasted photorealistic 8K natural lighting, etc. till here, and then I would have got the final picture. Then what I would have done is I would have upscaled that picture very strong to improve the quality, and then finally what would have been the result of that would have been my ultimate successful picture, maintaining a consistent story. And I hope these tutorials have been very useful for you, and I wish you luck in becoming the masters of AI image prompting.